Dynamic Languages presents a teaser from a 360 immersive trip to France. Over 25 virtual reality trips to France are available on the VR app at 3 language levels. Experience French life and culture with commentary in English, beginner level French, or intermediate to advanced level French. Answer questions, repeat keywords, and practice phrases using speech recognition. Download Dynamic Languages from the Meta Store and try the demo. Link is in the description. Now, enjoy this 360 3D teaser trip to France.
In this series of trips around the city of Strasbourg, we're going to be exploring by land and river. The directors, Dave and Katie, took a riverboat tour around the city and absolutely loved it. They captured the majority of it on video for you to enjoy virtually, so the highlights and relevant parts will be included throughout the trips around the city. You can also enjoy the full 30-minute video without commentary, so you can be fully immersed in the riverboat tour without fear of getting wet. Anyway, let's talk about Strasbourg. Strasbourg is the capital of Alsace, which is part of the Grand Est administrative region in northeastern France. It only has 2 departments, Bas-Rhin, where Strasbourg is, and Haut-Rhin, which you can visit in our trips to Colmar. Alsace is a cultural and historical region bordered by Germany to the north and east, across the Rhine River, and Switzerland to the south. It is the smallest metropolitan French region, stretching 190 kilometres north to south, but only 50 kilometres east to west. It forms a narrow corridor between the Vosges Mountains and the Rhine. Another region of Grand Est is the Marne department, which you can visit in another collection of trips to learn about the history of Champagne. The land in the Alsace includes the fertile Upper Rhine plain, which is perfect for farming and growing grapes. Alsace is particularly famous for producing Riesling and Gewürztraminer wines. Strasbourg sits on the Ill River, which we're currently travelling along, 4 kilometres west of the Rhine River in the Upper Rhine plain. Strasbourg is a wonderful city with a rich past that involves many key moments from European history. In this series, we will explore this fascinating history and broaden your knowledge of European culture while getting to know this enchanting city. Strasbourg's streets, with cobblestones and houses made of wood and plaster, tell stories of changing borders and different cultures coming together. Located on the border of France and Germany, this city has been fought over many times. It has changed hands between empires and countries, starting as a Roman base, then becoming a busy trading centre in the Middle Ages, and later a symbol of peace through the European Parliament. Its tall Gothic cathedral stands high above a mix of Roman, German and French-style buildings, and the Carmel River shows hundreds of years of strength and change. Strasbourg sums up Europe's complex story of division, unification, and the ongoing search for peace. The boat has taken us through La Petite France, which is a picturesque neighbourhood in the southwestern historic centre of Strasbourg, known as the Grande Île. This area, crisscrossed by canals from the Ill River, is renowned for its half-timbered houses, cobblestone streets, and medieval charm. It is a key tourist attraction and part of the city's UNESCO World Heritage Site, which was given the title in 1988. Let's step off the boat to explore this area on foot. The origins of La Petite France go back to the Middle Ages. It was a busy place for fishermen, millers and tanners, who used the Ill River's channels for their work. A miller is a person who works at a mill, a place where grain, like wheat or corn, is ground into flour or meal. A tanner is a person who makes leather from animal skins. This process, called tanning, involves cleaning, treating, and drying the skins to turn them into usable leather for items like shoes or bags. The river divides into 4 main parts here, which helped power the water mills and provided tanners with water to wash and process the skins. Most of the area's unique buildings were built in the 1500s and 1600s and are half-timbered houses with steep roofs. A half-timbered house is a type of building with a wooden frame made of beams or posts that are visible on the outside. The spaces between the beams are filled with materials like plaster, brick or stone. These houses often have a distinctive look with dark wooden beams forming patterns against lighter walls. In front of you is the tanner's house, Maison des Tanneurs, which was built in 1572 and restored in 1956, when it became a restaurant. This area was originally called the Tanners District due to this industry. The steep roofs of these houses meant there was space in the attic for the tanners to dry their animal skins. In the 16th century, this area was given its nickname La Petite France, or Französel in the Alsatian dialect, because of a hospital built here for soldiers with a disease called syphilis. People across Europe called it the French disease because it was linked to French soldiers under King François I coming back from wars in Italy. The hospital was set up to treat these sick soldiers and keep them separate from others. Over time, the whole area became known as Petite France, and the name stuck. This bridge is a swinging footbridge that pivots to allow sightseeing boats to pass through the lock. In the 19th century, the tanneries moved away from La Petite France, and the area was taken over by shops and other businesses. From 1897 to 1990, an ice factory near here made ice blocks for local shops. The factory produced large blocks of clear, artificial ice using early mechanical refrigeration compressors. These blocks were essential for preserving food, cooling beverages, and medical uses. The ice trade first began with the harvesting of natural ice, then transitioned to artificial production, and eventually led to widespread electrification and home refrigerators. This is a wonderful example of progress through industrialization. We're now standing on one of the city's covered bridges, which, despite their name, have not been covered since the 18th century. During World War II, the buildings of La Petite France were damaged, but were carefully rebuilt after the war. In 1978, cars were banned from the neighbourhood to protect its narrow streets. As you can see, this town hall in the river did not need protection from cars, being so isolated from the roads. Director Dave loved the flowering wisteria outside the building, and it's now captured forever for him and others to enjoy. Wisteria is a beautiful climbing plant famous for its purple, white, or pink flowers. It is native to Asia, but was brought to Europe in the 1800s. You can find wisteria all over Europe, where it decorates gardens, pergolas, and old buildings. The flowers bloom for only 2 to 4 weeks in spring, making it a wonderful but rare sight. Wisteria needs lots of sunlight, well-drained soil, and regular cutting to keep it under control, as it grows fast and can damage buildings if not cared for properly. Although it's loved for its beauty and sweet smell, wisteria is poisonous, so keep an eye on your children and pets. In Europe, it represents love and long life, making it popular in decorative gardens and festivals that celebrate its short blooming time. The city's covered bridges were built in the 13th century. They include 3 bridges and 4 towers crossing the Ill River. These were part of Strasbourg's medieval city walls, which once had nearly 90 towers. You can't see the 4th tower from here, but it's called the Executioner's Tower and was where people were questioned and tortured. There's a well-known local story of ironic justice about Sebastian Rosencrantz, the city's executioner. In 1565, he was caught helping a small group of criminals he trained to cause trouble. As punishment, he was tortured and executed. His lover was publicly whipped, and she was sent away from the city forever. This adds a macabre twist to the area's history. We're back on the boat, having just passed under one of the covered bridges, with the Executioner's Tower on the right-hand side, and we're approaching the Vauban Dam. The dam was built between 1686 and 1690, based on designs by the renowned Sébastien Le Prestre de Vauban, Louis XIV's chief fortifications expert. The dam's main job was to protect the area. If enemies attacked, it could block the river, making the water level rise. This would flood the fields and orchards south of Strasbourg, turning them into muddy, impassable land. The dam was used nearly 200 years after being built, during the Franco-Prussian War in 1870, when it slowed down the enemy's advance. We'll learn more about this war in the next trip. In the 20th century, the dam changed from a military tool to a civilian one. Between 1965 and 1966, its roof was rebuilt to make a scenic terrace, which we'll visit shortly. The Vauban Dam was constructed from pink Vosges sandstone, a material sourced from the nearby Vosges Mountains. These mountains of the Alsace region are renowned for their forested landscapes and lakes, making them popular for outdoor activities. They are often described as the green lung of eastern France. Sébastien Le Prestre de Vauban, known as Vauban, was born in 1633 and considered the best military engineer of his time. He changed how sieges were carried out and defensive buildings were designed. Vauban created new methods, like parallel trenches, which made capturing cities easier and cheaper. Nicknamed the Taker of Cities, he helped win over 40 strongholds during the wars of King Louis XIV. His designs used the natural shape of the land to create star-shaped forts, known as citadels. These forts had multiple layers of walls and defences, making them very hard to attack. Vauban worked on designing or improving nearly 100 fortresses across France, making them stronger and more secure. Inside the dam, a covered corridor connects the two riverbanks and was used for both military and civilian travel. Vauban's innovative dam design included a special water gate called a sluice bridge. This meant the dam could block the river by closing the arches with wooden beams. Vauban's ideas influenced fortress designs worldwide for centuries and even helped create the US Corps of Engineers in 1824. Today, 12 of his fortified sites in France are part of a UNESCO World Heritage Network. Vauban died in 1707 from pneumonia, but his ideas shaped military strategies throughout the 18th century. This is the final scene from this trip, and I hope you enjoyed exploring this picturesque part of the city. From here you can see La Petite France, the covered bridges, and in the distance is the famous cathedral, which we'll visit in a later trip. Join us next time as we continue to explore the city of Strasbourg and learn about its fascinating history.
Travel the world and learn languages without leaving home with the Dynamic Languages app for MetaQuest. Dynamic Languages uses a blend of immersive media, text and speech recognition to create journeys around the world and interactions with locals. These 360 3D experiences come in two styles, lessons and trips. You can learn languages in interactive lessons and speak with real people in authentic and realistic pre-recorded encounters. Handcrafted to get you speaking the language. Overcome your nerves in VR so you can speak with confidence in the real world. Have authentic conversations in live-action videos, filmed on location in fascinating surroundings. These real-world interactions stick in your memory as they simulate reality with eye contact, body language, and an embodied, immersive experience. You'll learn faster and more efficiently, having memorable interactions with interesting people. With trips, you can explore cultures, festivals, and landscapes in a wide variety of countries, including France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Spain, and the UK. These trips include optional commentary, keywords, and quizzes in the local language, ranging from beginner to advanced level. Look around every scene and uncover its treasures. Turn around in a swivel chair, use the joystick, or stand up and look all around you. These 8K 3D environments are moments in a particular place, captured at a particular time. They leave an authentic impression in your mind as you are truly immersed in these scenes and the story they tell. Feel present and experience adventures and festivals from around the world. Discover history, exploring ancient buildings while listening to narration that helps you understand the wider culture and traditions of peoples from across the globe. This surprising medium immerses you in fascinating scenes of tranquil nature and outstanding beauty, that will get you excited about a future adventure or feeling nostalgic as you take a trip down memory lane. Stream these on-demand VR experiences straight to your MetaQuest headset with the Dynamic Languages app. Try the free demo and subscribe to support us and unlock all the content, enjoying language lessons and adventurous trips away whenever you want to. Explore cultures and languages through authentic immersive media experiences at dynamiclanguages.org.